What's up, guys? I am in the middle of a 10-mile corn maze. It is ridiculous. It's interesting because I actually went to a similar corn maze yesterday, and that one was even worse than this because it was really dark outside. It was like 9-10 p.m. So last time the walls were up to here. It was a lot harder. Plus it was really dark outside, so you couldn't see. So you had to rely on flashlights. And what made it even worse was that the whole openings in the corn made it look like entrances when those weren't actually walls. And well, they were actually walls, but you thought they weren't. And it just got like really confusing. And so I went to this one now, and it's like 10 miles long. And basically this diagram here, it says that it's actually not really 10 miles long. It's still a really long maze. It's miles and miles long. But in reality, I would say in total, if you walk the whole thing, it's like 10 miles. But in terms of circumference, like the actual radius of the whole maze, I would put it at maybe 5 miles. 5 miles total diameter. The point is, it's a really long maze, and you're probably wondering, how the heck am I even... How do I even have an idea of where I'm going? Well, the truth is, I don't. I know the general direction. I'm moving in this general direction, that's right. And they should be like markers every like couple miles, like little signposts. But I'm recording this before dark so that when it gets dark, it doesn't get, so you can actually see something in this video. And honestly, I'm probably making it seem more than it is, but really, I kind of know where I am. Kinda. Not really. I think we're... Okay, I know where we are. Yeah, so the map helps a lot, but for corn mazes, you'd think it would be very simple, right? But then when you walk into the maze, it ends up being a lot more difficult because the distances are longer. Now, to be honest, this maze is... in my opinion, a lot simpler. Oh, because you get signs like, am I supposed to go this way? Okay. So I'm actually going to talk about my story at the other corn maze, simply because that one, which I did the other day, literally the day before, was actually a lot more difficult. And you're probably wondering, like, well, how could that one be more difficult than this one, where you're literally in a 10-mile corn maze and there's like really no clear indication? Well, this one's actually a lot simpler than it seems because this map is literally on point. Now, the other one I went to, the map was not on point. And what I mean by that is that, first off, on top of the darkness and the fact that the walls look like entrances, on top of all that, it was the map they gave us, it was wrong. It was literally not completely wrong, but just parts of it were quite wrong. And what I mean by that is this maze, it's really accurate, and so you can kind of tell just by the curves where you generally are if you get completely lost like I am now, even while you're recording a video. But in that other corn maze, the exact opposite was true, which is that the lines, I thought that they were the actual walls because they drew it in a really weird way, but those were the paths. But it made it look like the walls, and that just made it even more confusing. And then they like drew lines over other lines, and it was like crisscrossing. It was like literally like a deceptional map in a deceptional maze. The one benefit though was that it was not a horror themed maze. Even though it is Halloween, they decided not to do that. Instead, they chose a football themed corn maze. And so that one was kind of fun. I thought there'd be like football props in the maze. I'm not a big sports guy, but turns out there weren't any props. Instead, there was basically just, what do you call it? The basic maze was carved out to look like football logos. I don't even know the logos. Well, I actually do. But the point is, it was cool, but then it was also like, okay, that's not as exciting as I thought it'd be. Anyhow, I am actually, you would think that, wow, okay, I found the entrance.